Welcome to the weather forecast for Longmont Public Media. This is for Thursday through Sunday, March 19 to 22. I'm Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth. Let's take a look at the moon real quick this Friday. You might be able to see it as clouds break. Just a little sliver in the morning sky, a waning crescent, rising after midnight, about 3:40 in the morning. All right, the big story though is the storm coming in. It's been a while since we've had some snow. National Weather Service Forecast Office in Boulder has issued a wide variety of watches, warnings, and advisories across the state for I-25 corridor from Fort Collins down to Denver, including our hometown of Longmont, all the way down to almost Colorado Springs. We have a winter storm watch for, I think it's 3 to 7 inches of snow. We have a winter storm warning for a foot and a half of snow up in the mountains, including Estes and Red Feather Lakes and like that. So this is a pretty juicy, cold system that's coming in, and it's really going to impact the state. Well, but as of Wednesday night, the low we've been watching for the past week or two is pretty complex out here, actually. You got 3 low centers here, and these are going to dance around. This one will eject across the state over the next couple of days. Another one will kind of form. It's going to be weird out west of us, but we're going to kind of sit under a ridge after this leaves, and we'll take a look at that. So starting Wednesday noon, we have a cold front coming off the Pacific, some moisture just starting to flow up into the desert southwest. We're still high and dry here with our ridge overhead and very nice weather for one more day. By the evening, we do have some possibility of thunder. Some convection may occur as the cold air starts to flow in aloft. We have some moisture down at the surface and some warm temperatures that make the atmosphere unstable. Have more severe weather is possible down in Texas and Oklahoma and up into Kansas in response to this very same system rolling in. Going to midnight, Wednesday into Thursday, you can see the system is really getting its act together here. The front's now pushing into New Mexico. We got the first low center intensifying right around the Four Corners area. We have a low in response to being downstream of the Rockies as the trough comes in, forming. This low will become the main player, pumping moisture uphill into northern Colorado. We have a cold air up here across Wyoming, up in Montana with some snow up there. This cold air will be coming down as the lows kind of come together just east of Denver. That happens by Thursday PM. You can see the low is now drifting slowly off into Kansas. We have cold air pouring down. We have lots of moisture coming in from the Great Plains, moisture coming in with the flow from the Pacific. It's a pretty good setup for a good storm. Let's go segment by segment in 6-hour chunks through the storm, taking a look at what is basically a future radar. The little black squiggly lines are lines of equal pressure and kind of disorganized as the storm is still off of the Southern California, northern Baja coast Wednesday morning. We're going back in time. By Thursday morning, you see the low is now intensifying east of the Rockies. You see snow really picking up in the southeast mountains and down in Arizona. You see the thunderstorms out on the plains. By Thursday noon, that low is deepening even further. You can see the lines of pressure are now tightening, getting closer together. That means winds are going to be increasing. There'll be blizzard warnings up in Wyoming for blizzard conditions. So very high winds, blowing snow, reduced visibilities, dangerous traveling conditions. We'll have windy conditions. Right now it does not look like it'll reach blizzard criteria, but maybe locally you could get some gusts up there. But the foothills are starting to get some very heavy snow, including right here in Longmont. By Thursday night, it's intensifying even further. The low is out in Kansas. You can see the cold front, or what's called frontal genesis, the formation of a front, is really tightening up nicely here. The upper level lows coming out overhead for more instability. You got upslope flow of moisture from the Gulf around the low and up. It's just really dumping now along the plains and I-25 corridor and up in the mountains. By Thursday night, Friday midnight, the lows racing away, but we still have an upslope gradient, bringing a little more moisture in, a little tightening of the lines here, keeping the winds up a little bit, so snow is still falling. And by Friday morning, we still have a little bit of upslope snow in the foothills and up into the mountains. So another little impulse will come out and maybe even kick off some more snow showers Friday evening. I'm not showing that. Looking out at the next 5 days, the various models. The Weather Underground model, which I can't show here because it's proprietary, is showing about 3 to 4 inches of snow. The GFS here is showing about 2 to 3 inches, but really quickly over in Boulder, you're up at 5, 6, 8 inches. Around Estes Park, you might be up at around a foot. The North American model has a different pattern here, with a little downslope or rain hole here in the snow, and we're just in like the 1 to 3 inch area, a very tight gradient across town. And again, get over to Boulder and you're jumping up into 8, 10 inches of snow very quickly. Estes doesn't get that much though in this model's take. Looking at the out of control gem, this is a Canadian model. We have a little hole here, again, maybe downslope weakening of the precipitation or rain, but out on the plains you got 10 inches, up in the mountains and just over in Boulder you've got 10, 15 inches of snow. We were right on that edge there, so it may be about 5 to 8 inches in town. Channel 7 this morning put out their forecast, and you can see Fort Collins at 5 inches, Longmont 6 to 7, Boulder, well, should be more than that, probably 8-ish. Estes Park, they're giving 15, with Allen's Park getting 17. So obviously Friday night, Thursday night into Friday morning will be really bad travel. I know not a lot of people are traveling, but some people do have to get out and do things, and it's going to be really rough. I guess the silver lining, if you can find one, would be with such reduced traffic, it'll be easier for road crews to treat and plow and clear roadways. So, but we have a potential for a good hit of snow into Friday morning. So putting the next week together, Thursday and Friday are in the 40s, dropping down to the 30s. You stay below freezing for about a day on Friday. Very high chances of rain starting out for Thursday around 10 to 2. We switch over to snow as the cold air pulls in. Friday, snow heavy in the early morning, tapering off to showers, kind of picking up again maybe Friday night. Saturday and Sunday were chilly, just a little below average, but clearing conditions. And next week we're back to the 50s and 60s, so very nice weather again. We'll have to keep an eye on those cutoff lows way out west though. They can do their own thing, and that could change next week's forecast. For more local news, go to longmontobserver.org and you'll find my weather column there with more frequent weather updates. Again, we have a winter storm watch currently along I-25 and a warning up in the mountains, so travel will be difficult Thursday into Friday morning. This is Chief Meteorologist John Ensworth with your weather forecast for Longmont Public Media. Keep looking up.